Hello everybody and welcome to Module 3 Part 1, and today we're going to look at Lab 3. And specifically for the first part of the module, I'm going to look at importing Rhino geometry to set up the definition. So, as you should know, you got a Rhino file that has all of the geometry of the first floor of Kunstal's structure, and it's roughly broken up into 4 layers based on the different types of elements, and this is going to come to play in a second. The final definition should end up doing something like this, which is a little crazy, but tells you a lot of information and allows you to play around with beam sizes and column sizes. So the very first step, as always, is to import the Rhino geometry. So I'm going to set up the really quick definition. We're going to take curves, we're going to explode those curves. I'm going to remove duplicate points, just attaching the vertices to points, and then we're going to get curves in the end. And both of these we want to flatten because there may be some overlap, and just to be safe. And then finally we're going to turn those lines to beams using the line to beam command. So points into points and line and curves into lines. And then this is really important. I'm going to pull out a panel and call it columns underscore large. And this is going to allow Karamba to maintain that the large columns are going to have different properties. So I'm going to right click the curves, set multiple curves, and then go to right click the layer columns large, select objects, and space. So now those have been chosen and set up. And I'm going to do Control G to group it all together so I can read it a little better. And then we're just going to do this for the other 3 members. So Control C, Control V to paste. And we're going to do this 2 more times. And now just make sure that these elements are matched. So this is going to be columns underscore small. Right click the curve, set multiple curves, right click the layer, select objects, space. So that's the small, and then we're going to set up the large beams, beams underscore large. Right click curve, set multiple curves, right click layer, select objects, space. And then lastly, beams underscore small, right click curve, set multiple curves, right click, select objects, space. Okay, so that's all the geometry ready to go into Karamba. And then real quick, so we know where all the points are, I'm going to do one more remove duplicate points, and I'm going to pull from out point into the point command. And I'm going to do this for all of the 4 types of elements, and hold shift so you can see the plus sign showed up on my mouse, and attach it to points. This allows you to put more than one input into one input option. I'm going to do this one more time, holding shift, and then right click point, flatten because there's so many points coming in, and then point list, pull from out points to points, and then just to make it easier to read, I'm going to pull out a number slider for 1, and now you can see the points. So, sorry, I turned off the Rhino geometry, but now it looks like everything's working. There are no overlapping points, so we are good to go for the next step.